Hey YouTube, it's your girl Rock, and today I'm coming to y'all to talk about, I guess, let's say pregnancy, things you do not know, things the doctor don't tell you when having a baby. Like, I know there's a lot of first time moms and a lot of people don't know what their options are when having a baby, so I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit that I have learned just from experience. Me being about to have my third child, I know more from when I had my first. So I'm gonna share those things with you today. But first, I'm gonna start off with a little promotion. And the first promo is my sister's new book that she just wrote, I Am a Tree. You can purchase that on Kindle or Amazon. I'm going to put a picture up for you guys to see that. My other sister, who sells her jewelry, rocksjewelry.com. I actually got these earrings from her, and I love them. And I got another copper pair. They have some great jewelry, and they have like new launches every day. So there's unlimited options there for that. And I will link her info as well. And my older sister, who has a blog online, Tanisha Roche, and her information will be listed as well. So you guys can go and check those things out. It may hit home for some of you on for Kenya's book as well as Tanisha's blog. So if y'all want to check those out, and what girl don't always want new jewelry? Like, it's $5 jewelry plus tax. Like, you can't beat that. They have a lot of pretty jewelry, necklaces, rings, bracelets, earrings. Like, yeah. So just go check those out. Okay, I had some notes, but I can't find them. So we're just gonna be going with the flow now. All right. Well, some things I do want to tell you that I didn't know from my first pregnancy is about the epidural. They just make you feel like you won't be able to handle the pain. Like you need to have some type of pain medicine. And I'm gonna tell you now, I will never in life get another epidural. Never. It was the worst for me. First, when I got it, it hurt. It hurt like heck. And then they tell you, oh, if you move, you can get paralyzed. What? Like, for real? Like, I'm sitting here about to have a whole baby, and then you want to stick something in my back while I'm having contractions and say if I move, I can get paralyzed? Like, no, thank you. I mean, I did get it. It would have been my first pregnancy, and not knowing much about it, like, I could have had that baby natural. I'm sure I could have. Like, I ain't a wimp like that, but I did get the epidural. It did wear off on one side, so I had to get another dose, and that made my blood sugar drop. So I was just like out of it. I couldn't talk. I couldn't move. That was scary. That was the scariest thing ever. I would never, ever, ever in life get a epidural again. It's basically like getting a spinal tap. They stick a needle like this long down your spine and tell you don't move. I mean, it works wonders for some people, but not for me. And then after, you have like the worst back pain ever. Like, I swear the back pain never goes away. Never. Till this day, sometimes I feel like I have a epidural pricking me in my back. Like, that's not a good feeling. No. I mean, to each his own. Like, I'm not trying to discourage y'all, but it's much better to go the natural way, or you have other options of pain medicine that they don't usually tell you about. You can get some pain medicine through an IV, as well as some people have the gas, but not every hospital or doctor offers the nitro gas, but that's another option for pain relief as well, so that you don't have to go with an epidural. Now, with my second child, I did go natural. I mean, I got to the point where I was like, oh my God, this pain is just like so unbearable. I can't do it. I can't take it. But that's when it was time for her to come. Like, literally. Like, it was time for me to start pushing, because that's when that pain just got too unbearable. Other than that, like, I was coping with it. I was breathing through it all the way up until time for her to be birthed. That's when I was just like, okay, but once you start pushing, like, the pain, that's how you relieve your pain, by pushing. And that was my motivation. Like, if I hurry up and push my baby out, like, I won't be feeling this pain no more. So it took me a few pushes. I want to say probably about 6 pushes to get her out. I mean, they tell you about that crown, and if y'all don't know about that crown and that they call the ring of fire, yes, baby, you will feel that. But I'm telling you, if you just try your best to remain calm, stay focused, like, it truly helps. You just have to breathe your way through, and you do not need that medicine. I'm telling you, they don't tell y'all that when y'all getting this medicine, that y'all are putting y'all baby in distress because y'all are forcing them to come out, instead of them doing it naturally. Like, I watch vlogs, pregnancy vlogs, like, nonstop when it gets closer to the end of my pregnancy, just so that I can prepare myself and be ready. And I'm seeing so many where these girls are going in to get induced. And I did get induced my first pregnancy. I was 42 weeks pregnant. So, yes, I did get induced. Although I ended up going in labor, I think, like, the day before my induction date, I finally started going into labor. I did not dilate any until I went into active labor. And I was in labor for 19 hours with my first child. Yes, I was in labor for 19 hours. I waited probably like 3 or 4 hours at home having contractions, because I wanted to make sure it was real. I didn't want to go to the hospital and get sent back home. So I just waited. And since my contractions kept coming and they didn't stop, I was like, okay, now we can go to the hospital. Like, I know it's not stopping. Like, I know I have to be in labor. Like, he's finally ready. And me not knowing anything my first pregnancy, I was like, okay, yeah, I want to get induced. Like, I mean, he was overdue, but I mean, he didn't have no problems. Like, babies come when they're ready. Like, that's what, I don't know, that's just how I feel. Like, a baby gonna come when they ready. But with these doctors trying to rush them and induce you early and stuff, sometimes it be on their time, and they know most likely that it's going to cause you to end up having a C-section, because they're putting too much pressure on the baby, and now baby is in distress, heart rate is dropping. Like, y'all are doing this, these doctors are doing this to you and your child, because they trying to rush this procedure where you can just patiently wait, let whatever happens, and your baby come naturally. Like, what's the rush? A lot of doctors are about the money and having this baby. And C-sections, like, that's quick money for them. I knew this one girl, like, her doctor told her that she was going to have a C-section, and this was her first child. Why does she have to have a C-section having her first child? There's no reason for that. That's his way of making quick money. Like, no, that's not your only option. And we had to tell her that. Me and my sister, we had to tell her that, like, no, that is not your only option. He can't push you to have a C-section if that's not what you want, especially with it being your first child and you not having any problems. Like, nothing is causing you to have a C-section. But that's his option. No. Go find another doctor. You can say no to your doctors. You don't have to always go with what they say, how they feel. No, you have options. They make you feel like you don't, make you feel like you don't know nothing. But I said no. I don't care. No, that's my answer. No. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Be fine with telling people no when you don't feel comfortable with something. Because a lot of people, they just feel like they have to do whatever the doctor say. Like the doctor knows everything. No, they don't. I'm sorry. They don't. A lot of doctors will just go Google something and be like, okay, this may be what it is. I've experienced that so many times. I went to the doctor so many times and they never knew what was wrong, so they just tried to come up with something. Something that was always wrong. I stopped going to the doctor. I'm going to do something naturally before I have to go to the doctor. Yeah, baby girl is whining and up under me, trying to make me pick her up. Say hi. Hi. Yes, I will definitely make me a natural drink something with herbs, or do something before I be like, okay, I need to go to the ER. Okay, like, because those options, they have not really helped me. I have learned from experience, like, these doctors are not to help everybody. They in this pill business. Like, I'm not taking no pills. I take vitamins, yeah, but I'm not taking no pills. I don't care what. I'm not. With her, I barely took pain medicine after, because the medicine don't really help you. It just triggers with your brain. Like, it just trigger your brain to trick you into thinking that your pain is gone and everything. Like, the whole 3 days that I was in the hospital after having her, they was like, oh, you still don't want any pain medicine? I was like, nah, I'm okay right now. Which I was, but after a little bit, I did start having a little pain. So I was like, okay, I'll take some pain medicine today. I didn't really want to, because I know how out of it you will feel, like being high for those pain medications. Like, no, like, I can't tend to my baby like that. And when they give you those pain medicines, especially when you're about to have your baby, like, your baby's going to sleep most of the time because your baby is drugged up. And you're still drugged up. That's why you're so tired and you can't even care for your baby. Like, that's not what we're supposed to experience. We're supposed to be able to experience these first few moments with them, first few seconds when they come out and all that. But you're usually too exhausted to even do that because of the pain meds. Like, with her, like, I was up, I was alert. I didn't have no complications or anything. Like, I was ready. I was ready to parent. I had the energy I needed to do whatever I needed to do. I was ready to breastfeed as soon as she came. Like, I was able to do that because I didn't receive any medicine that second time. But the first time, I was like so tired. So tired. I couldn't even keep my eyes open. I was so drowsy. Like, that feeling was not good. Like, it wasn't. And I don't want us as women to feel like that's our only option when we go to have our beautiful babies. Like, we're supposed to experience this whole thing and love this whole thing, not be like, oh, my birth was horrible because of this, and happened, and now I don't want to have another baby because that was traumatizing. That's not how it's supposed to be. Everything about pregnancy is supposed to be enjoying. Okay, we gonna have those pains, but that's worth it for this beautiful thing that we created. Like, that's worth it. That pain is nothing. Not to me anyways. I do it any day, anytime, however, to make such a beautiful little being. Like, that pain it's so worth it. It's nothing that you can't handle. We as women, we have to know within ourselves that we are strong enough to do this. We can do this without any extras. Like, And you mainly don't try to have too many people around you while you having your baby. Like, you want to be able to focus, and for this to be a mental moment and memorable moment for you, your spouse, maybe your mom. Like, I say at the most 3, but I'd rather just be 2. Like, I want to remember this. I want this to be relaxing and soothing. Like, play you some calming music. Whatever helps you stay relaxed and focused. Like, play some of that type of music for you so you can stay in your zone and focus and do what you need to do so that you can bring your baby into this world and not have to worry about any other extras from any medication and everything. Like, let's do this naturally the way it was intended to be done. Okay, I know I'm touching out on this epidural because I just feel like it is the worst. Like, that's my opinion though, but it is not. Let me see what else I got for y'all. Oh, and to have a birth plan, like, it's all fine and dandy, but you have to be ready to throw that plan out the window because it's not always going to go how you think it's going to go. With baby girl, my water actually broke. So, I wasn't looking forward to just staying in the bed laboring, but where I was at the hospital, that was my only option. They wouldn't allow me to walk around. They wouldn't allow me to sit on a birthing ball or anything because my water had broken. I was just allowed to labor in bed. I didn't want to do that. Laboring in bed does not help. Does not help. That is why so many people get stuck and have to have a C-section again. Because how can your body progress when you're not moving? You just laying on your back. Like, most of the doctors won't even tell you to, like, open your legs, sit butterfly. If you sit butterfly, majority of the time, while you're pregnant, during your pregnancy, you are going to stretch your muscles for when it's time for you to have a baby, and it makes it that much easier. I believe that's what helped me so much when having baby girl. I will always stretch. I did yoga, everything. Like, it didn't really hurt. I mean, yes, the pain is there, but as far as everything else down there, like, it didn't really hurt. I felt like I healed faster and everything. I did do a yoni sting after. I did a yoni sting. I didn't do too much. Like, I was really light and delicate with my girl parts. Like, you have to treat your parts well and right. And I waited my entire 6 weeks. Probably 2 months. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't be playing with that. I be scared. But, yes. And then when the doctor said, okay, you're healed all the way. Thank you. Like, I did this right. I have not toured with either one of my kids. My first one was 6 pounds and 13 ounces, and she was 7 pounds, 7 ounces. So, we don't know how big this baby boy is going to be, but my doctor said roughly about the same size that she was, so we shall see. But if it's a little bigger, like, I'm fine. As long as my baby is healthy, like, I ain't worried about nothing. What, you want dada? You go dada? She a busybody, y'all. Okay, yeah, but again, like I was saying, we have options, y'all. Those birth plans, they don't always work. Stuff happens where you have to just change it and sometimes just go with that flow. But don't be upset that it's not working. Like, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, so you just gotta accept it and move on. Like, I don't know much more to say on that part, but everything is not planned. Even if you just think about your life, like, You probably plan out your life from the T, but it doesn't go as planned. For instance, COVID. Like, everybody is like stuck, restricted, whatever. Like, you can't do as much as you used to be able to do due to COVID. So, just take that for an example. Things don't always go to your plan. They will question you. You may feel like it's dumb questions that a doctor will ask you sometimes, like when you be like, okay, I think my water broke, I'm not sure. They be like, okay, you sure you didn't pee on yourself? And you like, really? Did you just ask me that? But it's possible, especially being pregnant, all the pressure your baby is putting down on your uterus, pushing down. It could possibly just be that the baby made you pee and you didn't know. Like, it's possible. So don't be embarrassed. Don't feel insulted or anything. It's bound to happen. But even sometimes people do want an epidural, but it may be too late. You probably dilated too fast. So you're forced to have that baby natural, which is better in my opinion, but stuff happens. People dilate differently. Some labors are longer than others. My labor with baby girl was only 4 hours. 4 hours tops, period. From the start to the end. 4 hours. And she was here. So, this says if your baby is ready to come out and the doctor isn't there, they'll tell you to close your legs. I wish somebody would tell me to close my legs. I mean, but with baby girl, my doctor did not make it because that's how fast it happened. I told her that I was having too much pain, like I couldn't take it, and I wanted something through my IV. So she came and checked me, tried to give me some medicine. Literally, like a minute. I was like, this does not work. I was like, no. She was like, well, it should have done something. I'm like, no. I was like, no, it didn't do nothing. And when I tell you my contractions was like bam, 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 like they didn't stop at all. So I knew I was ready, but the doctor told me I was still at a 4. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. But I went from a 4 to a 10 within seconds, had to be, because that medicine, like, it had no effect whatsoever. I'm like, nah, she couldn't have gave me nothing. Nah, it couldn't have been worth nothing, because it didn't help. And that's because baby was ready to come out. Like, baby was there, and I had to push. They was like, okay, we're going to call your doctor. I was like, I have to push. And so they hurried up and grabbed another doctor to come on in there and deliver the baby, because that's just how fast it was. Like, things don't go to plan. Like, you plan for your doctor to deliver your baby, that might not always happen. Your baby's going to come when they're ready to come, period. Yes, they do tell you to push down like you're having a bowel movement, and I feel like that is the best advice ever, because if that's all I thought about while I was pushing. I'm like, okay, let me pretend like I'm using the restroom, and those pushes made everything like it. I was pushing perfectly. They was trying to tell me what to do, but I was just so focused, and every time I felt a contraction, I would just push. They was trying to count or tell me when to push, but they was like, okay, we don't even have to say anything anymore because she's doing a good job. She knows what she's doing. But when I tell y'all, I had my eyes closed and I was just pushing. Like, my sister Kenya, she was my doula, so she was there, and she wanted me to look at her, but I told her I heard everything she was saying to me. I was calm. I was tuned in. Like, she really did help me. She probably felt like she didn't do nothing, or like I wasn't paying no attention and I was in my own world, but no, I was focused. Like, me having my eyes closed, that was me in my focus mode, instead of just like picking something to focus on. I did it better by just closing my eyes and doing what needed to be done. You may poop. Don't be embarrassed. You're having a baby. Come on. You're having a baby. Ain't nothing to be embarrassed about. At this point, you can't be embarrassed about nothing because they all up in your stuff. Like, just make sure your hygiene is right. That's it. That's all. That's all you can do. You can't do no more than that. But, I mean, yeah, when having a baby, ain't no privacy, nothing. Because they're going to keep coming to check you. They're going to make sure you're not bleeding. They're going to make sure your stomach is going down like it's supposed to. If you're breastfeeding, they're going to try to help you breastfeed. So somebody's probably going to touch your breast. But these are things that you have to learn to be comfortable with. If you're willing to learn and go these extra miles and do these things, you're going to have to accept some things that you may not be comfortable with, but that is better for you and your baby. So just think about that. The nurses are usually pretty good. The nurses are usually pretty good. Now, with my first child, it was some guy nurse. I was in New Orleans when I had my baby. It was some guy nurse that would come after I had my baby, and I kept telling him about my back hurting because of that epidural that I had, and he was like, "Oh, you're just," he basically called me fat. He was like, "Oh, you're just big. That's just your weight." Like, I'm like, okay, so like my back supposed to hurt like this just because I'm fat? Like, but yeah, that wasn't so great. But again, like the epidural, wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't recommend it at all. And don't think that every birth, every pregnancy is going to be the same. It's not. Expect the unexpected. Things change. Your body change. Especially with age. So, like I said, with my son, I didn't dilate whatsoever. Like, my cervix stayed closed the whole time until I was actually in labor. And when I got to the hospital, I was only at a 1. But my doctor, he was like, "You're in so much pain. I'm not going to send you back home because there will be nothing that you can do." And I was grateful for that. I was grateful because that's the only reason why I went to the hospital, because I felt like I couldn't take the pain, like it was so much pain. Like, I've never had period cramps before, so me feeling those pains, like, I wasn't ready for those at all. So that was something new. That was real news. I was like, oh yeah, it's something, because this don't feel right. And you will know when you are having contractions, like the Braxton Hicks contractions, you'll probably feel them like in your stomach. But real contractions, them bad boys are going to wrap around your stomach and hug your back. Like, you going to feel all that all up in there. Them things are real. But, I mean, I was waiting on that pain my second, because I didn't remember none of it, really. It was 7 years in between my first and second. So, it was like all new to me again, to have that pain, to experience birth, to experience pregnancy, It was like kind of new because it had been so long since I had a child. And I mean, I loved my experience. I don't care what all I went through, all the pain I went through, none of that. Like, I made these beautiful kids. Like, these are my kids. They call me mom. Like, this is everything. She down here playing, y'all. Like, it's everything. My kids are my everything. Like, everything I do is for my kids, if you don't know that. Yeah. But, okay, I'm gonna get ready to end this video because it's long enough. I will do another part of this video to y'all because there's so much more that I do want to touch bases on for us women, new moms, whatever. Just so y'all can know a little bit more, and you have options, boo. Know that you have options. I don't care what they tell you. You have options. You can do mostly what you want to do is if it's for your benefit and will help you. So know that. But all right, I'm about to get up out of this thing, and y'all stay tuned for the next one. If you haven't, please join the family. Like, comment, and subscribe. We like to do a lot of videos with. We haven't recorded a mukbang yet, but we got one coming soon for y'all because we reached a milestone. So that'll be coming soon for y'all. We do a lot of food challenges. Our latest one, we got a lot of good feedback on it. So if y'all want to go watch that, eat it, draw it, that was hilarious. That was so hilarious. Y'all just go watch that. Join the family, and we'll be back soon. Love you.